there, my name is Jesslyn and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about how you can use simple shapes to build pretty much anything. So when I say simple shapes, I mean shapes like circles, ovals, squares, rectangles, triangles. These are all geometric shapes, and we can use a combination of these things to build almost anything. I also use a cylinder, which is basically just a combination of ovals and a rectangle. And sometimes I will use a natural shape, like a bean shape, to build other more complicated shapes. But most of the time I just use these basic shapes right here to build almost anything. Today we're going to focus on using a circle to build our main composition. We are going to be drawing a fruit tart. So if you want, you can follow along with me, or you can just watch. So fruit tart, we're going to start with the basic circle shape. Now when I make my circle, I like to use my whole arm because it helps me to draw a bigger shape. And notice how I kept my pencil lines light, and I wasn't worried about drawing it perfect the first time around. Right now I just want to build in kind of that basic framework. Now our fruit tart needs a crust. Here I'm just using a wavy line to go around and create my crust. I'm kind of cheating a little bit. If I was going to draw this from a basic shape, I would do ovals like this and space them apart a little bit and then draw in the line in between here to kind of connect them. And then I'd have to erase this out later. But I chose to kind of go the cheat route because this is going to be just my sketch. So fruit tart, I'm kind of thinking about what kinds of fruit I might want to draw on there. I love blueberries and raspberries, maybe even some strawberries. Again, I'm just going to start with kind of those basic circular shapes. Maybe a little something like that, just kind of pretty on one side. Now that I have my basic shapes, I would go in and add more details. So, for example, maybe my fruit here, this will be a raspberry. So I'm going to start kind of breaking it into smaller shapes. I've got maybe an oval, and then maybe I'll make this circle shape look a little bit rougher because raspberries are kind of those small, bumpy, that bumpy line, which could be like little circles like this, almost like a blackberry. It's like little tiny berries that all make up one berry. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe I'll have like a little extra blueberry kind of sticking out underneath here. Blueberries have these kind of cool star shapes that come out of the top of them, which is just a circle with some triangles coming off of it to create that kind of star shape. You can do that for tomatoes too, actually. I'm thinking about when I add color, if I have this pop of kind of a pink red, and then it's surrounded by all this kind of nice dark blue, that might look really good. My final illustration will be on this paper. It's a little bit higher quality. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, which is really nice for drawing and painting on. And I like the deckled edges here that aren't quite super smooth. So this will be what I draw my final image on, starting with those exact same basic shapes that I used for my sketch. So here is my final illustration. I took my pencil sketch and used it as a map to create this final illustration on the paper that I showed earlier. So this illustration is done using mixed media. There's a variety of paint and colored pencil and paper all kind of mushed together to create this magic here. So stay tuned next time. I will walk us through from start to finish of how I take my beginning sketch and go all the way through to my final. Looking forward to seeing you then.